Hello, I am the Ronan Ball, and welcome to a twitch.tv/Ronan Ball livestream on twitch.tv/Ronan Ball. Hi. Oh, I'm rather dim, aren't I? Hang on, not that way. I've got several brain cells, it turns out. Welcome to the live stream. I'm the Ronan Ball, and I forgot to turn one of the two lights on. There we go. Now we're still have to sort of check and see about the cam control there. Are we dialed in? Now we're dialed in. Boom. Welcome to the live stream, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. EVZ04 and the Light Guy 89. Hello, Pawn. How's it going? Hello, EVZ. Hello, the Light Guy 89. It's going. It's going. I've just released Fuck America. my latest YouTube video, youtube.com/RonanPawn. And we'll see. I'm hoping that, it gets watched and viewed. So far, the only people watching and viewing it are apparently, sex bots. Bonnie Prentice, Freja Chase, Rue Kaya Hanna, and Adele Callahan have lots of things to say. They're loving the video. They are very, very positive about their experience. Pretty sure that they've subbed now. Long-term viewers, first-time commenters is my guess. But yeah, they're all it's just sex bots, isn't it? It's that beautiful, love you, kisses, I'm single, oh my god, really nice. And as a professional YouTuber, I have to now sit here and live in the world where well, I should really just delete all these comments, shouldn't I? But their comments kind of feeds the algorithm what it wants to see, that people are engaged and watching. Bonnie Prentice has a right to her sexbot opinion as much as anyone else. Do I get rid of it or don't I? Well, I'm too busy to address it right now. I've just started up a live stream. We'll wait. It's not a good look either on your video, and you know what? Let's just go ahead and action menu. Let's actually go ahead and report this activity. I think let's just remove them. Maybe whoever runs these sex bots is actually a big fan, trying to help me out, throwing some comments toward my channel. We'll just you know what? Don't think I actually need hugs and kisses to you too, bae. But gonna go ahead and just go ahead that sort of a thing. Don't want to discriminate against the sex bots, cancel culture and all. That's the other part of me. I don't want to. Sex bots have a right to. Well, libertarianism says they have a right to run the fucking country if they can get enough power on their own. I mean, they don't say that, but if you thought about your policy, that's what it leads to. Welcome to a politically charged live stream. I'm just so happy with that video, that Fuck America video. It's so good. Go and watch it if you haven't already. YouTube.com/RonanPawn. Latest video up. Fuck the American people. They don't deserve anything. So good that it just fell out of me, and then it's such a good comedy routine. I was fucking channeling Bill Hicks. He's dead now, so I can channel him. I was channeling Bill Hicks. Bill Hicks was channeling. Well, he was inspired by George Carlin, surely, but channeling was Kinison? Was Sam Kinison dead when Bill was still kicking around? So we're all just channeling someone else who did it better before us, who had something to say, and I'm very proud to have Bill Hicks in my Grundle area right now. Sex bots are workers too. Their rights need to be considered. Hello, Nitro Diems. We're getting into Kerbal today, and we have basically depressing things to do. By the way, sorry, it's been, I think 3 full days of no live stream until this one. It's, not a big gap, but it's weird. I was live streaming so much last month. For me to go 3 days without streaming, it feels odd. I was just feeling kind of, I needed some time down, some time off. I took yesterday and edited that video that's up at youtube.com/RonanPawn. The Fuck America video, as well as I edited a 20-minute long, getting second rank in Forest World segment, speedrunning cluster truck, any percent category. I edited that together, so that can come down in the next day or two. as well. But, yeah, just feeling a little bit weird. You know, can't say that there's anything wrong in particular, just feeling a little bit wonky, you know? It just feels wonky sometimes. And it could be that there are things wrong. Since Lady Pawn arrived, I've found that, it's become harder for me to notice that my chronic fatigue syndrome, myalgic encephalomyelitis, aka systemic exertion intolerance disease, all those names for one thing. It's been, one, better, and two, harder to notice because I'm happier as a person. Which means that it's weird because it's like I'm going back like a year and a half, 2 years ago when I couldn't really tell when CFS was kicking me in the nuts. Because I'm, just in a better mood and enjoying life that much more. And so I may be saying I'm feeling wonky when what I'm actually feeling is pain that is kind of subconscious. It's below that level, which is what it's always been for me in one form or another. But, it's counterbalanced by just living a more fulfilling and rewarding and happier life. Aw, that's sweet, isn't it, though? I hope she was listening. It'll get me brownie points. But very much the truth, that things are just better, and it's almost... Because, so chronic fatigue syndrome has a history dating back to, it's a women's disease, and it dates back, potentially, if you connect the dots this way, like 2,000 years old, to just the idea of hysteria. Women experiencing the condition of hysteria, hysterical women. 2,000 years ago, that used to be the diagnosis for what people believe now was probably, the condition that I am beset with. This is a woman's disease. It is 80% of those who are affected by it are female. And the best diagnosis that they had back then for CFS, for women who were experiencing CFS, was that, what the problem is, because it was all psychological, they assumed. You're just undersexed. You need more sex, and, sex will solve your days, and you need to get married and have some children, and that'll work it all out for you, because you'll have something to pep up your spirits or whatever. And highly insulting, bunch of bullshit, quackery. But, that said... I have to say that, my condition has been that much more tenable and that much more, I can live with it and deal with it, and I have more energy, or at least can take what little energy I have on the days that I have and actually do something with it because I have someone with me. Because I have, someone to do it for and someone to, just to care for other than me. If it's just me and the cats, then I'll feed them. I'll scrape the litter box once every 2 weeks or something. It's really horrible. They were shitting outside of the box. But I'll just make sure that we're basically alive and do a live stream every now and again when I feel like I have the strength for it. Whereas having someone around who you actually care for and care about, and to the credit of those 2,000 years old misogynist quackery fucks, someone with whom you have a biological attraction, I think there's something to that, and I think it's just sort of raising energy from a different place or a different kind of an energy when you don't have that in your life, when you don't have the smell and the taste and the touch of someone else that attracts you and gets you moving and gets you interested in things. Biochemically, scent is linked to a lot of things that go on in your body, and those kinds of attractions, they help manifest a little bit more energy than you'd probably usually get. So, even though they were really just misogynists shooting in the dark and assuming that a women's issue is just, women being women, they're just being crazy and hysterical, they weren't entirely wrong, that your life can be benefited by, just having a better one. Endorphins, just all of those things, fire. Did you get arrested some time ago? I'm actually trying to think if I've ever been arrested. Have I ever been arrested? I don't think they've caught me on any of the things I've done. The handcuffs may have gone on, but, a little bit of, and then I was gone before they knew it. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I don't think I have been. What are we doing today? So what we're doing today, I'm not even going to look at contracts. I'm not going to look at anything. Let's look at some contracts. Let's look at everything. Just a quick peek to see if they got anything, on Minmus that they'd like us to do that's convenient. That's probably not convenient. Okay. What we need to do today is, I built a beautiful, amazing, wonderful contraption that worked brilliantly. Would you care to see it? Let's give her a show. Let's give her a rollout since she didn't perform so well, basically, anywhere else. I think it's the Fuel Rail Mark 7. Let's shove Jebediah Kerman in the cockpit and shove him out here at night. Who cares? First time catching your KSP streams is Nitro Games. Well, you'll be watching me recover from a huge error that is mainly the developers of the game's problem and not me. So what I did was I built this crazy contraption using the robotics elements in Kerbal Space Program. Very neat, very nifty thing, and it enables so many new things that you could do in theory. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of these and I'm going to undock them because in the modern version of Kerbal Space Program, you can actually set parts to be able to interact with other parts when they are part of the same vessel. You can turn physics on within the part, which means you can make docking ports work within the same device, which allows you to do stability things like that. Now, if I recall correctly, and I don't, so I'll just start pressing buttons. If I hit the number 1, our wheels rotate. All right, well, that's not what you want. Oh, and there were multiple things on the same buttons here that weren't supposed to be on. It's fine. If I hit the number 2, nothing happens. If I hit the number 3, nothing happens. Good. So we've deployed in the first place along that axis. Our wheels are out. They spun over the top of each other. They absolutely don't have to. That was just me not remembering which button is pressed first, but all of this is on hinges. So if I tell it to target angle maximum, then we'll see that the craft then deploys itself properly, very slowly, deliberately slowly, so that things don't, slam around and make crazy things happen. And it will pull itself up, as it just has here. And then what I can do is I can grab onto one of these and have its extension collapse, and then have its extension reconnect. And if this has happened good, let's see, I had the things on 3 and 4, and I didn't have them set up right. But let's just do a target extension contraction, and then back out. These are now connected, should be connected anyway. Now if I hit 1 again, there we go. There we go. Now we've spun our wheels in the direction where we can drive it, turn our lights on, tail lights, headlights. Now we can drive this great big monster around. We can pull in the landing gear, as we're no longer using it to support ourselves. We're on these nice 8 wheels. And I can get this thing up to a pretty good speed here on the surface of Kerbal. I don't have any SAS active right now, I don't think. Shouldn't. They're operating in SAS only mode, yeah. So on Kerbal, I can drive this thing around pleasantly, happily, and it's actually more stable when I'm carrying a weight. And the whole point of this, actually, this contraption, was that we were able to lower these docking ports, and by contracting and, contracting the whole rig all at once, I had it all on buttons, we could actually grab big fuel tanks and then lift them up so that they're no longer on the ground, and then we could carry them around. Really cool friggin' device. And as you can see, here on the surface of Kerbal with, regular gravity, we're able to drive this thing around. It can take some pretty big inclines and declines without having problems. On the surface of Minmus, however, which is what this was designed for, because it's supposed to grab our big fuel tanks in our fuel refinery at Minmus and then fly them to the moon. It's all set up for all of those things. Big problem is, on the surface of Minmus, these wheels glitch the fuck out just sitting at a standstill. One of these wheels will just be bah, 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 it'll just be jiggling and shit, because the physics are subject to, the Kraken, as it's called in Kerbal Space Program. I like to call it people not doing their jobs and then selling you a game. I like to call it bad physics engineering. I like to call it, you know, game are broken. But, you know, it's funner if you just call it the Kraken and laugh. So basically, this device that we brought up to Minmus is mildly viable. It could be used. I'm rather disappointed with it. Our plan was, in building this, we built our fuel refinery on a great big hill, and the idea was, wouldn't it be fun to create something with wheels that could pick up the fuel tank and then drive down this massively steep hill and just pick up speed, and then when it got to the bottom of the hill and flattened itself back out, it could take off from there, or it could hit a little ramp, or hit the other side of an incline, and then go to space. You'd be making a little bit of Delta V for free. Mainly, it would just be fun, but it would be making Delta V for free, you know, using the gravity that's pulling you toward Minmus down a steep incline in order to create speed, the thing you don't have to create in order to get back to orbit, but also just being fun. Kerbal Space Program, not a big, whoa, the fuck, it's auto-save at the worst possible moment. Kerbal Space Program, not a big fan of fun, kind of shat on all my fun is what they went and did. Go ahead and recover this vessel, because what we need to do now is go out to Minmus and clean up from the mess of having brought this massive construction out to Minmus and then found out that it don't so much work. Now, I don't want to kick Kerbal Space Program when it's down for being a poorly designed game. I don't want to do that, but Kerbin is supposed to be here, along with the Space Center. You know what? It's probably fine. Let's just go to the astronaut complex. How is the astronaut complex? All right, let me just pull that to the right. There's the VAB now. That's weird. So if I pull you up and to the left, research, and you know what? Where's the... Okay, I don't know what the view is either. We must be looking at it from the sun or something. We want the tracking station. Really, really good timing for that. Just, you know, in case anybody was here going, oh, it's not their fault. It's not, you know, the design issues. It's OBS or not OBS. It's Hulu. It's not Hulu. It's, you know, what the fuck's the name of the goddamn platform that this game is built on? You know, the shitty one that they said, that's the source of all our problems. By the way, KSP2, think we'll make it in that one? Well, it's fucking Unity. Unity. Thank you, Light Guy 89. I got there just in time. Sometimes another feature of CFS, one of my favorites, is exactly that you just can't remember certain words sometimes. Okay, everything has become the tow truck. We're gonna clean things up today, and that'll be on the list. But number one is we've got to clean up the mess from trying to make these systems work on the surface of Minmus. They just don't. They just don't, except for one of them. One of the systems actually did work, and if I scroll through it, the Jeep is actually pretty okay, but it's not... We could redesign that to be more useful as well, but here's this guy on the surface of Minmus. Having spawned it right in, at least it's not jiggling in the moment that I'm looking at it. But as soon as you start moving it around trying to do anything with it, oh, it falls to shit, doesn't it? But the one system that did work that we brought up was Bill Kerman's platform. Bill Kerman's inspection platform here. So these devices work better. The platform, the drilling refinery, all work better if you've got an engineer staffing them. And crazy me, I didn't think that you should attach an office to the refinery physically. I'm just a sort of a crazy fella, you know, not thinking that makes the slightest bit of sense, but apparently that's how the game works. So once nearly coming back, there we